Playing Curseborne tonight, we have Athena. Athena, who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Athena. I am the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, the longest reigning in the company. I also work for All Elite Wrestling with my dear friend Nyla Rose. But tonight I shall be playing vampire actress. But I am a performer. I love the arts. I embrace them with my French, and maybe we'll get a little Texas down there, y'all. We'll never see. But I am the Countessa, Queenessa, Baroness, Katharina.
Playing Curseborne tonight, we have Bridget Jeffries. Bridget, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi guys, my name is Bridget of Symphony Entertainment and Chaosium Incorporated, and tonight I am playing Z, who is a primal with the family path of the 8 hand. So I am a, let's put it around like maybe 5'5" African-American woman with short curly hair. I'm in a black mini dress, combat boots with a blue jean jacket, but spread across my chest is an intricate web of spider webs that the more you look at her, the almost more it seems to like move. There's a subtlety about the way that I walk. I'm a reporter, and I think the biggest thing is I have an unbridled curiosity. If there's a mystery, I want to solve it. If there's a question, I want to answer to it. I move through strands in the web to interconnect people, pieces, and information. And mostly I am going to be here tonight to see what it is about this play that is like has my particular network buzzing.
Playing Curseborne tonight, we have Laura Orton. Laura, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Laura, a tabletop enthusiast. And tonight I am playing Iris Fairbanks, the Dead. And Iris has been around the theater for a long time. Let's say when she bit the big one, it was less Sondheim, more Shaw. And she has this current iteration. She's bopped around in a couple different bodies. This current iteration has big orange hair that looks like she stuck her finger in an electrical socket, and kind of small and petite with pointy features like a bird and oversized glasses. And she is the costume designer slash production designer, but in community productions you have to be a multi-hyphenate, and has much incentive to ensure that the audience is moved in one way or another this opening night.
Playing Curseborne today, we have Nyla Rose. Nyla, who are you and who are you playing?
Hey, I'm Nyla Rose from All Elite Wrestling. Today I'll be playing the part of Rebecca Mossberg. Some people call her Moss for short. Yes, named after the shotgun because she is no subtle person. She's a brute force to be reckoned with. The bodyguard and friend to the Countess.
Curseborne. Our scenario tonight goes by the name of Curtain Call. We are observing a staged production. It's opening night for a show of dubious reputation, The Bitch is Dead, a play some people accuse of glamorizing a serial killer. A play reputed to have a curse, given how many people involved in it have died since it was written 20 years ago. Nobody knows who the author was, and frankly, no one would want to admit to it at this point. Tonight's premiere showing will be no different. The audience sit wrapped in terror, because in the middle of a musical number, our two leads share the stage. One of them, Countessa Queenessa Baroness Katharina, of the Hungry Vorari family, an ultimate diva, an actress of the stage who never quite broke through to the screen, would love to. There's nothing more she wants. I mean, she has lived for years, decades, perhaps even centuries, and ever since the silver screen was invented, she wanted to make it. But still, she treads the boards. She can argue live entertainment's where it's at. But she never received the call for the step up to the big screen. And that hurts, like a stake to the heart. It hurts after a while. But she is one of the leads in our play. It's not her the audience are terrified of. It's her co-star, Johnny King. Now, Johnny King, when he was younger, Johnny played Romeo. When he was a name in New York, he played Willie Loman, and in his view, his best role was as Uncle Vanya in a Steppenwolf production of the same name, but he won't be remembered for those roles as spectacular as they were. He'll be remembered for this production of The Bitch is Dead and being yet another ill-fated actor to take on the role of serial killer Victor Latendresse, named in this play as Victor L, because it rhymes with hell, and that makes the lyrics a lot easier to remember. It won't be his Victor L soliloquy that cements his memory. It won't be his rendition of Sophie, oh Sophie, the character that Katerina is playing, though he definitely hits the high notes. It'll be the moment one of his eyeballs popped, spraying his co-star Katerina with a cocktail of blood and vitreous fluid. It will be the moment thick spools of red and clear gunk started seeping from his ears like uncoiling worms. Yet if those don't stick with the audience, it'll be the point at which his brain rejected its containment and squeezed free of his empty ocular cavity in spurting, increasingly viscous chunks. His confused final words of, "Katerina, what's going on? I can't..." And then he collapsed to the boards, his skull finally cracking like a hollow eggshell, somewhere close to 232 tiny crabs scuttling out from inside. But before we get there, let's rewind time by around an hour. Athena is playing Katerina. And Katerina, Countessa, Queenessa, Baroness, if I can remember all of your honorifics.
There's probably more, but we forgot over the years.
Well, yes, these things, they chop and change, don't they? You have worked with the director of The Bitch is Dead, Ivana Jefferson, a few times. She's a hack. She's washed up. She has very much moved past her best days, if indeed she ever had them. But when she offered you this role, well, it's a controversial play, and controversial plays sometimes attract an audience. Sometimes they attract talent scouts. Pilot season at last could be calling. You are currently in the director's room at the theatre. It is opening night. You're an hour before curtain up. She has a cigarette hanging from her lower lip. Beside her, her bottle of vodka is already half empty. Grey Goose, so she's really made her way through it quite smooth. "Now," she says, "Cat, do you mind if I call you Cat? I feel like we've worked together for years."
I do. I do mind. Maybe my full name?
Maybe. I think the thing is, we've been through rehearsal after rehearsal. You've done...
Nailed it. Every time. Every time I have nailed it.
My concern as we approach curtain up, Countessa, Queenessa, Baroness, Katerina, is the improvisation. Now, we can't claim to be honouring a dead playwright. We don't know if the playwright's dead. We don't know if they're alive. But this is a musical, and the lyrics need to flow. And I shouldn't be having to tell you an hour before curtain up that you need to stick to the script.
Well, if I do say so, I think this play is a bit dated. And one of my skills and one of my talents deserve proper lines to make me a star.
Listen, I love you, Katerina. I adore
know
you.
Everyone does. I can get you signed up for my fan club immediately.
You don't need to sign me up to your fan club.
You're
I can
right,
assure you.
because you are already signed up. I understand.
Ivana looks at the director's room doorway because the door is slightly ajar and your bodyguard is... I don't know if the right word, Nyla, is lurking, standing like a statue. How do you think Rebecca Mossberg exudes presence?
Blatantly eavesdropping, because if you see me listening in, what are you going to do about it?
Well, Ivana is, let's be clear, intimidated by Rebecca Mossberg because most everyone is. This is well, human being is a loose definition for what Rebecca Mossberg is. She is an outcast of the Battleground Angels family. But to the average mortal, she looks like she is as broad across as she is tall and built out of something close to marble or granite. You probably wouldn't want to run face first into Rebecca or have Rebecca chasing you. And so Ivana cuts off her criticism. She doesn't want to end up on the wrong side of this person. Says, we've worked together, I don't know, 3-4 times, and in most times, Countessa, Queenessa, Baroness Katerina, I have found your improvisation, as I say, let your creativity...
An enhancement to your plays. That
exactly.
Is an enhancement.
But this is my my last chance. You know, if this burns out, if this play goes up in flames, I'm done. All I want is a good opening night, and you keep dancing around the script as if it's a guideline.
What is art? Art is nothing but the guideline. Art is beautiful. Art is in the eye of the beholder, and I am the beholder. You write words, I perform. And every time I put you on the map like no other actress can. So tonight, I will... How do you say? Try my best.
You were the person that convinced me to put Grease 2 on the stage, and that didn't work out well.
Suggestions, trial and error. It happens. Sometimes you feel a lull in the crowd. You try to read what they need. And sometimes, mistakes are made, but we have learned. And we shall be better.
Cool Rider, I will accept, was a hit.
Excuse me, Ivana. You are wasting the Countess's time. She needs to prepare, get ready, focus. You want a good opening night. Let her do her thing. Let her relax. Let her get her mind ready. Let her focus and let her give you the show of a lifetime as only she can deliver.
See?
Seems you should be hiring your bodyguard as your manager. Fine. Touch base with Johnny. You know, he needs to walk through some of the blocking with you, and I won't be out front. I'm not going to be watching. I never watch opening night. I'll be back here, and I will trust you to have a good show. And my faith is placed entirely in you. My life is in your hands.
Well,
Fine, I will try my best to follow the words on paper, if you will. But they bore me so much. But I will try. I will try. But if I hear that lull in the crowd, I have to get my crowd back.
There's nothing more to say, is there?
No.
She takes a swig directly from the bottle. She may well catch the cigarette in there, but at this point, I don't think she cares. It just adds a nice smoky flavour. The two of you depart the director's chamber, and that leaves you passing a familiar figure, one you haven't seen for quite some time, in fact. Z. This is Bridget's character. Bridget member of the 8 hands, one of the primal families, spiders, insects, bugs, and arachnids. But spiders most of all. You know Z is a culture journalist, but also something of a conspiracy junkie. It perhaps is no surprise that Z has come to this Junction City performance of The Bitch is Dead, given the number of curses that supposedly surround this play. But nevertheless, you haven't seen her in quite a while.
Oh, it is,
Z.
name?
Z.
Z. Z! Hello, Z! How are you? So nice to see you again.
Hello, Rebecca. Hello. And then I am going to go through the forgotten honorifics on Katarina, because that is absolutely something that I would have researched and had. So I am adding on the serened, enlightened Contessa Baroness Katarina. Good evening. Congratulations on this production. I am expecting wonderful things from you as always.
Of course. I always love my fans. Did you get the newsletter this week?
I did, as a matter of fact. I have some opinions on that newsletter for whoever is procuring those for you, but that's something that we can discuss at a later time. Rebecca, how are you?
Wonderful. How have you been?
I've been okay. It's good to see you. You look well.
I know.
Feels like there's some tension between Rebecca and Z. What is the relationship here? How far does this go back? And is it muddy?
It's a little muddy.
Mm-hmm.
We go back a couple of years. Romantic? Little romantic?
I feel good about romantic.
Little flirtatious.
Yeah.
Never could quite get on the same page.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, then it came time, of course, when the Countessa had to leave Junction City to tour with her latest stage group. Well, of course, you went with her, Rebecca. So if there was a relationship forming there between you and Z, it didn't survive the long distance.
Or the writing.
No. No, indeed.
My knives are sharp, but Z's pen is sharper.
Ooh, that was delicious. You stuck that landing, boob. Yes.
Oh, what a romantic.
It's actually while you're crowded around in this narrow hallway. You know what hallways are like around the back of theatres. They're not exactly conducive to masses of people trucking backwards and forwards, despite the sheer number of costumes and props that need to move. You are forming something of a logjam, the three of you, especially given the imposing size of Rebecca Mossberg. But that doesn't mean that Iris Fairbanks won't be getting involved, because Iris, you've been working on the, let's call it, elaborate costume for the character of Sophie, played by the Countessa Queenessa Baroness Katarina. And it seems whenever you need to take a final measurement or take a hem in or something like that, she is always flitting off somewhere else, talk to the press, talk to the fans. It's a stress for Rebecca as well, because she's paid to keep her eye on this woman. But
it's just, we all know that the script is subpar at best. Help me help you. You know, I'm just trying to enhance the natural beauty that's already there. But at this point, it's just taking far too long. We're cutting it far too short. Curtain is in an hour. Katarina.
Did you say that you cannot do my outfit for this play? You said that I am the savior of this play. I am supposed to be saving this play. Mediocre writing, mediocre performances, and then I am here. This is my big break. I must look like a diva, an angel, if you will.
Oh, Katarina. Of course you already do. You are a god among men, right? Just help me to enhance what's already there, and we can make opening night a smashing success. Please.
Rebecca, what do you think about this?
Yeah, Rebecca, what do you think about this?
And I think there's a micro expression of just like, oh, Jesus. But, like...
You've got 5 minutes, tops. We have places to be. We have things to do. We have a newsletter to write. So whatever you got to do, aren't you supposed to be the best at whatever you do with the thread and needle?
Whatever I do.
Yes, whatever you do.
So get to it, because right now all you're doing is running your lips.
Now, Iris, you have lived many lives. You have tailored and seamstressed for kings and queens in centuries gone by. Why that's resulted in you being in the River Theatre in Junction City, Iowa, I don't know.
Iowa.
Choices were made. Things happen in this economy. You take the gigs you can get.
I mean, it's a gig economy, isn't it?
Frankly, and yes. And, we all know, too, in the theater that actors are a bunch of fussy little poodles, right? But at the end of the day, they'll deliver the goods, and there are very specific goods I need,
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so we will kowtow to this fussy little songbird and wait for the festivities to begin.
Now, I'm going to ask for our first roll of the game, just to show how dice rolling works. And I think we're going to focus on you for a moment, Laura, because this is a roll with there's risk in the sense of it could look awful if it goes badly. There's no it's not going to blow up in your face. But I want to see whether you actually, let's say, draw the dress in or let it hang off of the Countess like a tent.
Oh,
and we're going to go for a culture as your skill.
Okay.
And I think let's call it intellect, because this is either intellect or cunning. If you're trying to do it fast, we'll call it cunning. If you're spending your time all the way up the curtain up, if you're really pushing it, you can use intellect instead.
They are the same value, but I'm going to say for flavor, it's cunning because she's got shit to do.
All right. So you roll 1d10 for every point in those, and you are looking for 8s or 9s for 1 hit each. 10s count as 2 hits.
Nice.
Let's look for a difficulty 1, so you only need 1 hit here.
Ooh. 2 8s, and do 10s do anything, or is that just
count
still
as
1?
2 hits.
Well, that is 4 hits. Even though this woman is the worst, I am better at my job. So she looks
Athena, you have set a mark. About 10, 15 minutes in, you are already the worst.
Out the gate.
So what happens in the story path ultra system that we're using here, if you end up achieving excess hits, you only need to just get 1, you ended up with 3 more than you actually needed there, you can use them to buy tricks. Tricks are effectively ways of making your role more spectacular, your outcome more spectacular. Well, we don't have, let's say, a table of outcomes for tailoring a dress on opening night. You can imagine that you could use those extra hits to realize, actually, I could open it up a little here, show a little bit of skin. I've got that box of jewelry back there, and hanging these faux rubies just so will really catch the light. I know it's not what we rehearsed, but basically, you can glam this woman up a little and really make the actress shine.
I think because Iris feeds on emotion, that the goal is the collective gasp, right, at the entrance, and just to be able to
that
happens.
Because, yes, Iris is a poltergeist. You are a poltergeist of the dead lineage, and all the dead enjoy what you might call a susurrus, I think it is, susurrus of emotion. You need peaks of emotion. The poltergeists in particular are huge lovers of fear, of gasps as well, shock, trauma as well. I mean, it's a bit difficult to make a dress traumatic. Let's not do that on opening night. But you might be able
fail or something.
Yes, but you're probably going to be able to open some eyes. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So you're hard at work doing this. While this is taking place, our lead actress, you catch up with your co-star, Johnny King. Oh, hello, Countessa. Hi. You are looking stunning and not even in costume yet.
Thank you, thank you. You look like you are ready for the play.
Oh, I'm washed up, honey. You don't need to tell me about that, but I am ready for opening night. But there was something I wanted to say to you beforehand. I don't mind. I don't mind Rebecca hearing. In fact, I would love to get Rebecca's opinion as well.
Rebecca? Rebecca? Rebecca!
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry.
Please don't drop wet food around the costumes. I mean, I know it's not my department, but... Right. Well, so what I was looking for here was some defiance, and that's why I thought of Rebecca, because some of the lyrics, obviously it's opening night. Ivana's already got on at me about changing lyrics all the time with you, because, we like to have fun.
I know! She doesn't understand what good writing is.
Well, I was thinking, when I ride in on my motorcycle at the end of Act 2,
yes.
That's where you kill me, right? That's where you call me the bitch, nice role reversal, etc., etc. Because I'm the killer, I'm Victor L, and I'm coming for you, and then you turn the shotgun around on me, and it's a dramatic, my head gets blown off, etc. But the lyrics right now, at least as written, say, "The bastard stood outside right now. I don't know what to do. I can't do what he does. I can't do what I have to do." That's what you're supposed to say. And to me, that all sounds very diddy, dum diddy. There's lots of do's there.
The mouthful.
So I just wondered, and take it or leave it. Obviously, it's your character. But I'm thinking, this is a new generation. This is a bit of a gross play. We're glorifying a serial killer. Let's make you a little more defiant, a little bolder, and say, "The bastard stood outside right now. He doesn't have a clue. I've got no choice. Victor must die. I've got to see this through." And then you grab my shotgun and blow my head off.
Better.
Let me think. Rebecca, what do you think?
I think it's dumb.
So, Rebecca seems to think that your lines do not matter. Maybe something like, I'm not really warmed up for this.
Oh, no.
You got this. You got this, Countess.
How dare you! Die, Victor L! Go to hell!
I mean, it's not the rhyming couplets that run through the rest of the script, but I suppose it will take the audience off guard, won't it?
Look, Victor.
Oh, well, okay. I see
my hands
you're
on
not
his
in love
chest.
with it. Let me try. I'm not warmed up. Okay.
Countess, you don't have to prove anything to him. That was brilliant, sweet, and effective. Let him do what he needs to do and ride his motorcycle, if that's what we're calling what he does. You worry about your brilliance. You don't even worry about it because it's effortless to you. Let this buffoon try to get his lines right this time.
I was an Uncle Vanya. I'm a classically trained actor.
Rebecca. But if he does horrible, that reflects on me.
I guess you're right.
So, you ride in your motorcycle, okay?
I do, yes.
Okay. Motorcycle. And then this is when I have my defiance. All right, here we are. Rebecca, I got it.
Because I'm coming for you, remember. I've just escaped the law, and I'm coming for you now.
So maybe I am planting flowers. It can be beautiful. And then you ride up on your motorcycle. And all right, start scene, Rebecca. Start scene. Ready? Count me in, Rebecca.
4, 3, 2, action.
Victor L! What are you doing here? No, you will not kill me. Not Sophie. Die, Victor L! Pulls out shotgun.
Yes.
Go to hell. And
Well,
Uzi right there.
No, I think that's great. Now, obviously, you have to say who's the bitch now because it ties into the title of the bitch is dead.
Are you telling the Countess what to do?
No, it's just the title of the play. I wouldn't think to.
We know the title of the play. We're in the show. She's in the show.
We did promise the hack writer we would try to stick to the script. So we will end with bitch go to hell. Okay, so there.
There we go. Okay.
Bitch die go to hell. What's the name of this play?
The bitch is dead.
What is the name of the play? Oh,
this play you're destined to ruin, Countess. By the sounds of it.
That's so good.
Well, meanwhile, while you are busy fixing the script of a play 45 minutes before curtain up.
So good.
Keep in mind, this is also a musical, so there's a band, and
they don't need to be roped in. It'll be fine.
No.
That's why we need incredible costumes.
Something has to work.
If it's a band worth their salt, they will be able to go with the flow, won't they? They will pick up the rhythm, if that's what you can call it, of what the Countessa is dropping, and they will follow along, maybe. Z, you have got the time now for your interview with the director. It's the kind of thing the Culture Mag always wants. It's, Junction City likes an interview with the lead actor, an actress. Well, you've kind of done that. And the director, of course. And so she is, now down to a quart of a bottle of vodka. Fresh cigarette, though.
And this is Ivana, correct?
Yes, this is Ivana Jefferson. Who are you supposed to be, then?
So I'll say at least one thing with Z. Much like spiders that live in your walls or crawl across your ceilings or lurk on your floors, I move around very effortlessly, being able to observe and see a lot without being seen. So prior to getting to Ivana, the one thing I do want to do, if I can, Matthew, feel free to be like, nah, can I touch base with Iris very briefly?
Absolutely.
So at some point, I'm going to wind up crawling, slithering. All I'm really doing is walking the halls. It's just one of those things, just that arachnid ability just to be out of the way and unseen, or maybe just on the periphery. But I am going to at least connect with Iris.
Who's walking around doing like last minute, fits and checks and things. And
yes, you've just had the news that apparently some flower props have got to be dug out from under the stage because now all of a sudden the Countessa is planting flowers and some soil. But do carry on.
Of course she is. All right. Yes. Okay. So, forcefully telling the assistant prop master to go, no, pansies. She wants pansies, not roses. Yes. Z, what can I do for you?
Iris, breathe. That's a walking nightmare. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to salvage that. Breathe.
I can try. You're right. I thought we had seen the worst of it in West Side Story in 84, but...
Iris, she put Grease 2 back on stage.
I remember.
Let's do it for
I mean, that's the one you insisted closed Act 1 for some reason.
So, I'm getting in front of Iris and, more or less just manifesting in an attempt to ground her in that moment. It's like, breathe. That's a walking nightmare. That doesn't sing well. And honestly, I'm really disappointed after meeting her in person.
I know. It happens. It always does.
The costume is stunning. It's innovative in multiple beautiful ways. Well done.
Thank you. I know. But I'm hoping that at least that part of your review might be gracious. It would be wonderful if this one could run for a little while, Just I completely understand and respect your craft, and you need to be fair and judicious, but if you can remember your old friend, that would also be really great.
Okay, I would like for you to. I'm sure Bridget would, or Z will more than happily do what you're saying, but let's see how deep you can dig these emotionally manipulative claws in now.
Ooh, I love this. Yes,
Okay.
let's go.
Now,
Let's see.
I think you may well have some abilities that alter emotions, but you can just roll this flat. We can go for persuasion and manipulation, if you like.
What does I mean, I guess this would probably go the other way, but emotional siphon, does that is that more like that's an edge? Oh,
Yeah.
maybe could I do I have something called quick read, maybe to see if I can like add to the dice pool mechanically, but just like, are these the right heartstrings to pull?
Yeah, I would suggest so. Those are some excellent edges, very appropriate to wanting to do those very things. If you like, I can actually read out the text of what those things
that'd be
are.
great.
Yeah, please.
So that people actually know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So let me just find this for you. Okay, then. So we're looking at... if we're talking about emotional siphon, this is something only the dead have access to. When you evoke an emotion in someone you have a bond with, and I believe you do have a bond on your character sheet with Z. You may reduce the bond rating you have with them to gain additional curse dice equal to the starting bond rating. So basically, by sapping her pity for you, you can gain 2 curse dice because your bond with Z is...
I'm already in Iowa. I have nothing to lose.
Oh my God. Change the scenario title to that. Right there. I'm already
so sorry,
in Iowa.
Subtext. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Iowa, we love you.
I don't really mean it.
Yeah, all of us who have had the mistake of stopping in Des Moines loved it.
Great sushi there.
It's a great town.
Yeah.
I hear they grow fantastic corn. Anyway.
Matthew, go to bed. Oh, God.
Why is Iowa just catching live ones?
Iowa catching all the strays right now.
Well, in our scenario, in Iowa, yes, you can indeed do that if that's what you'd like to do with your emotional siphon here.
Okay, so I reduce it to 1 and get 2 curse dice. And that just happens?
Excellent. So you are doing what the dead do, which is draining emotions from people. Sometimes it's passive. Sometimes it's a completely subconscious act. Sometimes, of course, it is a more manipulative hook. Whether it was intentional, you tell me. But you do end up powerful, more powerful.
I think ordinarily Iris is probably pretty manipulative, but I do think that Z and Iris have a history and there is professional courtesy and respect. And I think that seeing the mess that is happening and knowing that this will probably be a disastrous opening, this is unintentional. This is a pieta.
Right.
Oh, that is beautiful. So if I can reverse, that was a great T, by the way, great articulation. So if I can reverse T into that, I can, with Matthew's permission, I'm going to retroactively say I saw Iris spiraling all over the place. It's not that I served myself up for this opportunity, but I knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
So like when I approach her, when this incident, when this event, when this action happens, I'm going to say Z's pupils begin to dilate and she begins to growl. It's low and it's in her chest, but it doesn't seem... what's the word I'm looking for? Intentional as much as it's like responsive. You've been in this moment with her before when time you sap her, she has some type of feral response to it. It's not discomfort, it's more of a response.
Yes.
Yeah, a bizarre, almost perverse, mutually beneficial relationship, but who hasn't had them occasionally?
Oh, whoa.
So,
wow.
more to be discovered later in this session. So while Iris is draining the pity from Z, outside stage door, having your last cigarette before curtain up. Countess, Queenessa,
Yes.
Baroness, Katerina. You're here, Johnny is there, of course, Rebecca barely ever leaves your side. And the reason you often feel safe to hang around outside stage door before the show opens is because the fans with their autograph books, and there are still some, usually theatre fans have autograph books. They don't tend to appear with photos. They tend to arrive after the show, not before the show. It's almost like an unspoken rule in Junction City, but there is one. He's a young man. You probably put him about 18 or 19. A slender little guy, pale of face, a little sickly looking. Excuse me. Excuse me. You're. I know you're busy, and I'm going to watch the show in a minute. And
I always have time for my adoring fans.
Thank you. My name is Brandon, by the way. If you could
Hello,
sign,
Brandon.
if you could sign something to Brandon, I would love it. And he hands you a piece of paper. It's folded over multiple times so that you don't just put a pen straight through it.
Okay, I open it up. To my favorite, most dashing fan, who is also my number one fan.
I am. I really am.
Whose name is Brandon.
It is.
At least you got the name right.
You have a great life. I misspelled Brandon.
Yes.
Everyone in this group is a bitch. No wonder the play is.
Find Countessa Queenessa Baroness Katarina.
I
And then I
wrote
hold
to
the
you.
paper up and I give like a big kiss. Oh, I have no lipstick on. But you understood the sentiment. And I fold it back up and I hand it back to Mr. Brain.
I think lipstick would cheapen it, he says, taking it back. And Johnny reaches over and says, "Let me sign that as well, kid." And he signs partly over your name.
I just give him dirty looks.
We're both looking at like Johnny like,
Oh, you just wish you were on stage as well, Rebecca. Come on.
I've been on plenty of stages, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, but I mean a speaking role.
Oh, God.
excuse
Not
me,
just part
Johnny?
of the scenery. Pillar in a Greek theatre or something.
I just get
Anyway.
right in his face.
Not that I'm at all claiming you're not talented.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I back off, but I'm still leering at him.
Johnny, did you know Rebecca once did Shakespeare in the Park?
No, Countess, I just shook a spear in the park. The cops were involved. It was a weird scene. It was different thing.
My hopes nearly went up there. Well, I hope your spear shaking went well. I hope it was... Anyway, we should really get ready, last call very soon. Limber up.
I stay limber. And up.
Yeah,
Well,
you do.
of that I have no doubt, darling. I will see you I will see you entering stage right when I enter stage left.
And I hope you break a leg.
I can help with that.
We're losing eyes.
She can.
Okay. And he... I mean, you can roll to intimidate him if you want, but I don't think you really need to. Right now, it's a force of personality next to a force of physical dominance. And this isn't a guy who wants to test his leg getting broken. There is an understudy. If he dropped dead for some bizarre reason, I don't know, his eyeball exploded, his brain melted out his head, something like that.
Crabs.
Someone could come on and replace him. So he does scurry off, leaving the two of you to your own selves. And you hear the call, the alarm bell. 10 minutes! 10 minutes!
We must go, Rebecca.
Yes.
I must put on my dress.
Let's just hope she got it right this time.
That is accurate.
And that means, because, of course, Z and Iris were spending a certain amount of time with each other, one feeding from the other, you have a very short amount of time for your interview with Ivana. Z. I'm not going out. I'm not going out there. I'm not going to watch. It's too much. It's too much. Oh, I thought you were the producer. Who are you? Oh, you're the journalist, aren't you?
The journalist has a name. It's Z, and we have an appointment. Yes. Good evening, Ivana.
I think our appointment was about an hour ago, in fairness, but you're going to have to make it quick.
No, in fairness, I do recognize it was an hour ago, but I was doing what I could to serve, or at least to assist with your production.
Off the record, I spend most of every opening performance sat on the can. I don't tend to leave that room until I hear the last round of applause, and then it's congratulations, flowers with any luck, or a quick taxi ride home. But that's all off the record. I'm very much looking forward to tonight's performance. I think it's going to be a belter. Superstar. This is a revival of the Bitch is Dead.
Miss Ivana, my apologies. Our time is limited, and I'm not actually interested in the standard spiel that I get from most producers. I could copy and paste that from any other interview. I do have three very particular questions for you right now. The very first one is going to be, do you buy into any of the superstitions surrounding this production?
Really? Is that where you want to waste your time on superstitions? Look, just because the last two leads died in a blazing car wreck, that has nothing to do with it. And that was years ago. And the actor before that, yes, a lot of actors are very emotional people. So it shouldn't really have come as much of a surprise that the person playing Johnny King did what he did. This is a charged atmosphere, Z. In the world of theatre, you have a lot of personalities, and they can sometimes do unexpected things. Do I think the play is cursed? No. But I do think it attracts people to watch it. And for that, I think any talk of a curse is worth its weight in gold.
Understood. Thank you for that very bland answer. Question number 2. Yes, plays of this nature do attract a certain amount of attention, in addition to the legal attention that is currently being attracted by you choosing to do a musical rendition celebrating a renowned serial killer.
Let me correct you there. The serial killer that you and the other press outlets have alluded to was Victor Latendresse. Our lead actor is called Victor L. That's his role, not Victor Latendresse. That is a different person. We are loosely based on the events of Victor Latendresse's life, but we're not exploiting anything.
Ivana, you didn't even file off all the serial numbers. You just took off the last 3.
Look, what's your point? Are you trying to dig up dirt? Are you trying to trash this play before it opens? Don't you know some of the people in this production, don't you? You don't want to see them lose their jobs. You know how cut and thrust it is, how many people want to be actors these days.
Miss Ivana, my job is to bring answers to the questions that my followers and my fan base and that individuals want to know. And these are the questions. We're not really interested in whether or not you stay for the entire performance. No one really cares. What we are interested in is the glorification of Victor L. Let's drop the last 7 letters off. Or, you know what, Miss Ivana? I appreciate your time. Thank you. Good luck tonight.
Let me tell you something. 3 minutes. 3 minutes till curtain up. Let me tell you something, Z. Let me tell you. Do I think there's some spookiness about the theatre? Yes. I walk around backstage, I see ghosts, I see devils. Some people think that is the director's lot, that we are always tormented by the productions that failed us. But a theatre like this, it's old, it has stories, floorboards creak when there's no one nearby, sometimes you see shadows move out the corner of your eye. I have a healthy superstition. But do I think that this play is responsible for me just last night seeing a scaly demon creature wandering around trying on costumes. No, I put that down to the vodka.
The longer she speaks, the wider this smile grows across my face. At the corners, it pulls a little too far, like, right outside of the cheekbones where it pulls. It's a very long, it's a very wide smile.
Mandibles, almost.
Almost, but that would probably also be the vodka, right? Anything that's peeking right on the inside of the jaw there, that's just the vodka. She's under a lot of stress.
She is.
Ivana, thank you. I do have just one final question for you.
One final one. 1 minute.
What brought you to this production? What brought you here? What called you to produce The Bitch is Dead? And I would appreciate an honest response.
Oh, no, an honest response. I don't often, but it's usually the actors. I sometimes receive fan mail. People who say, you should really try your hand at something by Joe Orton, or you should really try one of these. That show was popular in Chicago, Bug or something. Something that's a bit experimental with violence and nudity and things like that. Most of the time, I write it off. But I got a piece of fan mail, very well written, nice handwriting. That suggested this play, included the entire script. Honestly, I'd heard rumors of it, and I thought, what this play really needs is music. And so, I don't even know who sent it to me, quite honest. I know someone said, this is you. This has got Ivana Jefferson written all over it. And I have to think that person was right, because it inspired me. It made me think, I'm not done yet. And as she's talking, the curtain goes up. You'd better get to your seat, honey, or you're going to miss our opening movement.
I'm going to drop my card off. I would love to have that original packaging if you have it. And then I'm going to scurry off to my seat.
And so we enter the play. As we are doing so, Iris, it's funny, the breathing that Z encouraged you do, you don't have a seat in the stalls or something like that. You get to watch it all from backstage. But you don't need to breathe. It's still quite therapeutic to make your cadaver breathe, to make the chest rise and fall, feel the oxygen. You almost feel it more acutely than the living would, who take that kind of thing for granted. It's a shame the blood doesn't flow around your body, but beggars can't be choosers. You are sat there feeling slightly more alert, slightly more awake. And it is because of that, and I know I keep picking on you, Laura.
Please.
I'm going to ask you to roll for me. I'm going to go for a larceny and cunning roll. And this is to spot something. Someone's sneaking about.
Cool. Okay.
There is a complication here. So what is a complication? I will tell you. Ordinarily, you only have to beat a difficulty. So you only have to get 1, 8, 9, or 10, or 2, 8s, 9s, or 10s, depending on how difficult the roll is, that kind of thing. Sometimes you can add complications. Complications are narrative effects. They have a rating of 1, 2, or 3, minor, moderate, major. You can beat the difficulty, but still have the complication. As an example, the example I often use is someone's running down an alleyway, they've got to climb over a chain link fence to escape a werewolf. The chain link fence has barbed wire over the top of it. Now, beating the difficulty will allow you to scale the fence and climb over the other side. But if you don't buy off the complication, your pocket gets torn open, your wallet falls down, the werewolf now has your ID. In your case, you have a minor complication, which is the person who is doing the sneaking around will see you at the same time as you see them.
Okay. I got 2 hits. Does it matter if they're on the curse dice or not?
It does matter.
Okay. One is on the curse dice, one's on the regular.
Excellent. Okay, so this is what is called a wicked success.
Oh, nice!
I like the sound of that.
Let's
okay.
go.
You have succeeded with a curse die. Wicked success basically allows a narrative effect here. Usually, a wicked success is beneficial to you.
Okay.
So, for instance, you might get a greater result than you're looking for, or your family, your supernatural family, the poltergeists might be pleased with what you are about to do. In this case, I'm going to suggest that the wicked success allows you to identify exactly what this creature is, just like that. You have encountered them before in your past, and they are pests. You despise them, but you know exactly what it is. You spot, rummaging around among the costumes, an imp. Now, everyone has a certain picture of an imp in their mind. This one is a particularly ugly creature, part reptilian, part humanoid, bat wings. That's all fairly typical. But there's a sort of crust of fluff that covers the skin of this one, that whenever it moves, it just drops flakes of its scales and skin everywhere and all over the clothes that it is moving between. It is just shuffing, sloughing off flowers, blooms of its own flesh.
Not on my costumes.
On your costumes, yes. And imps don't tend to be self-guided. They tend to be servants to greater creatures. They're troublemakers, tricksters. Mm-hmm. And this one is sneaking around in your costume department.
Okay. Do I know, are they like dangerous? I would love to, because I have an idea, but I don't know if it would be like, if I were to, for example, do some dissonance and do an attack at it with the stunning tag, say shoot.
Yeah.
Is that
that would be a very good use of your dissonance power.
Then I'm going to do it. I spent far too long and these were far too expensive. Get out of here, Aroithi.
Okay, so dissonance. So dissonance is a spell that the dead can have access to. It requires you bleed one curse die.
Yep. Okay, so
you make an attack with empathy because you are basically broadcasting your emotion, so not ranged combat. So you add empathy to dexterity in this case.
Okay.
And yes, if you can get 2 hits or more, you can stun this creature.
Okay, pool of 7, so maybe.
Oh, good luck.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. Remember, you're down to 1 curse die now.
Yep. 2 hits.
2 hits.
And 1 is on a curse die.
Excellent. Okay, that is another wicked success.
Another wicked success.
Okay. I should start taking
Yes, you are exploding with wickedness right now. Technically, the stunned status effect should make the imp freeze in its tracks. If you would prefer that it bats the hell away from here, you can do that instead. But right now, it is suffering a great shock. And any actions it tries to take will come at a moderate complication. Otherwise, it will freeze, terrified again. So what would you like?
Narratively, I think it's probably more interesting if it gets away, right?
Okay.
Like, so she's in it. She's got far too much to think about right now, including like these little imps. So it's just shoot, get out of here, go.
Okay, then. So we move back to the stage and the performance that is ensuing. Rebecca, well, you get comp tickets, and they're good tickets as well. You're not in the poor seats.
Oh, I want to be in the wings where I have no business being.
You can be in the wings if you want. I mean, you're pretty much taking up
like
the
just
stage
off
exit.
stage, yeah.
Right in the way.
Yeah, I do. I love the idea of an actor trying to exit the stage and then having to pause
move around.
And the audience thinking, what's he doing? So from your position in the wings, it actually gives you not only a good look at everyone's behind on stage, it also allows you to look out into the audience as much as you can see them, of course. They are wreathed in darkness, as audiences tend to be at the theatre. And you can see that young man, little nervous young fellow who recently acquired a signature, an autograph from your employer.
Good old Brandon.
Brandon, yes. He sat alone which might be cause for some sympathy, except he is sat alone to the degree that the 3 seats behind him are empty, the 2 seats on either side of him are empty, and the 3 seats in front of him are empty.
Oh.
And it's in the kind of way that someone of means might block out seats so they're not obstructed, so they get a good view of what's going on stage. And yeah, he is leaning forward, he is arched forward, he is, well
engaged.
Let's call it that. That's a very generous way of describing how he looks right now.
Okay.
So, as you're watching that, Athena, Countessa, Queen Tessa, Baroness, Katerina, let's see how your performance goes. Oh, my goodness. My goodness.
Man.
I mean, this was not what the director had planned with your costume, and yet somehow you are supposed to be the victim that overcame Victor Latendresse, who was, by all news reports, a rather meek and mild and average everywoman. And the way you're playing her, frankly, he never had a chance.
Never.
So let's see how well you play. I would like a roll from you, please, Athena. This is quite an important one for you.
Okay, so please explain to me what I'm rolling and how I'm rolling it.
Yes, indeed. So you have skills and you have attributes on your character sheet.
Yes.
And we've talked a lot about what kind of an actor you are, but we've never ascertained whether you're a good one. And I think this is the point where we discover that you're not. Because you have 1 point of artistry. You'll be rolling 1 die for that. But you do have 5 points of presence. Sometimes all you have to do is make a show. You know, it isn't all about your chops. It's about spotlight.
Sometimes it's about how you do things, not what you do.
Exactly. So let's see. Can I ask you to roll 6d10, please?
Okay, am I rolling my curse dice with this or just 60?
You will be rolling your curse die with this.
I'm so excited. I don't care which way this swings.
I mean, I think we all actually hope that the Countess dies on her ass out there.
I don't know why there's so much hatred for the Countess. She's just doing the best job she came to do. Okay. Yeah. She might be singing some Gwen Stefani or something.
Yeah.
I
mean, no one cleared
that. From the Phantom of the Opera real quick.
It makes it accessible. You know?
Okay.
Don't encourage this foolery.
So, do I collectively say what I have when it comes to the dice?
Tell me how many 8s, 9s, and 10s you have.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then my curse dice is an 8.
Look at you.
Okay, so that is a wicked success. Well,
look at you.
Damn.
Let's be clear. No one's paying attention to Johnny King playing the role of Victor L right now as you are singing your tragic fallen love story to each other. All eyes are on you right now, including members of your own family who have come out to support you. We're talking ancient Vorari, Hungary, who love to attend opening night, sometimes to see their family members fail, because opening night's the night for it to happen.
Of course.
But when they surprise them, when they do what you're doing right now, there is a standing applause. They don't give a shit about the people having to sit behind them. They will block their view like nobody's business, and they will call out your name, your titles, Countessa! Queen Tessa!
I am now gone off script, and I'm singing Endless Love. It's supposed to be a duet. Johnny doesn't know the words.
No, he occasionally tries to chime in with the very Meatloaf style lyrics of The Bitch Is Dead, and there's absolutely no rhythm to it, but no one cares. It makes it look like he is the failure.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point, this may well be inadvertently, Athena, it's up to you, a moment where you could actually drain the soul out of your co-star.
Oh!
Because that is something you can feed upon, and if you do it, you'll gain cursed dice for it by succumbing to your torments.
I look over, and he's like clearly ruining my moment.
Clearly.
Oh, that's the way it is, yes.
There's only you in my life, the only thing that's right.
The engine revving between my legs, but burns with hate for you.
My first love, you're every breath that I take.
Delivering infernal fire for what you tried to do.
And your
Please.
eyes. And so as I sing that, I'll get like closer to him, like I'm ruining this movie. In your eyes, and I want to like caress his chin and put his eyes to, like I want to try to control it.
Oh my God.
All right then. Well, in terms of the feeding,
all right. So
you
I
don't
have a
need.
question.
Yes.
Can I do a I don't know how torments work, but I feel like this is fun.
Which is
some
what
of the
we would like.
torments. So one of the torments I have is called "Take What's Mine." So
Yeah.
I want to take this moment to take the spotlight as I feed on him. Is there a way I can do that?
Absolutely, you can do both of these things. You can take what's yours. This is a typical hungry torment, because all hungry consider themselves aristocrats, the sort of rulers of the accursed, if you will. So yeah, you can sap the spotlight from Johnny so severely that no one in the audience, not even your fellow accursed who are watching, are even aware of his presence at this point.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You.
Then I would like to lean in as I'm singing so beautifully to him this endless love, and I'm like, you are a waste. You are like I'm saying this with my eyes. You are a waste. You're ruining my moment. This is my time to hit the big screen, and you are taking my moment. And then I would like to lovingly like kiss him on the cheek, and then I'll turn to the crowd, start singing again, and then I would like to kiss down to his neck and then bite him.
Yeah, this isn't how the play's supposed to go, that's for damn sure.
But I would like everyone to know, like, that it looks like I'm giving him a hickey as he is trying to flub through these lines. So
yeah, he just ends up growling his lines now, and they are becoming a monotonous drone, because it's not just his blood and soul that's leaving his neck, it's his thoughts. He is drifting away on a cloud of, well, self-hatred. I think he is being completely filled with a lack of self-worth. You are replacing any kind of confidence this man has with an utter vacuum. You are a horrible person. And
I'm the best person that he's never met yet.
Exactly, yes. Stranger's just a friend you haven't met. So it's up to you. If you want this to make things inconvenient for you and your party, you can gain a curse die. Or momentum. Momentum can be used for doing things like adding enhancements to your dice rolls. If you are, however, it is in fact in line with feeding with your family's meal type. So, in fact, you would gain both a momentum and a curse die if you want this to be inconvenient for your party. In other words, someone will notice that there's something amiss here. It's your choice. You don't have to. I mean, you're already giving into a torment, so you've gained a curse die for that.
Ooh, okay. Well, I do, as much as I would love to suck this idiot dry, the Countessa knows that she is desperate for fame, so she must let the show go on. Despite wanting to suck him dry for sucking and ruining this beautiful duet that was improv. Okay.
The solo that's been improv.
I'm so desperate for fame.
The solo duet.
Basically, I just want to use this as a moment to humiliate him.
Well, you succeed.
So I think Iris, backstage seeing Athena block everything, is marching up and is going to try to kill two birds with one stone and get her out of the way and deal with this imp problem. But before she can, is actually pretty blown away by Katarina's performance and will never admit it, but does need to take a second to watch and bask. But during the applause, is going to turn to Rebecca and say, "Listen, there's this little imp that is wandering around backstage and it's shedding all over my costumes. And isn't that the sort of thing that you deal with? Can't you just go take care of this?"
You mean Steve in Act 2?
Hi.
Well, point taken, but no, an actual imp, like one of those little, like,
Oh,
you're just
here?
wandering around causing up here in the middle of the show. If you don't want to have it mess things up for Katarina, I suggest you go find it and maybe, I don't know, what do you do, stab it?
All right, fine. Where was it last seen?
Great, thank you. I will show you, and I will take Rebecca to where we last saw it.
All right, then. Well, you don't need to roll to follow the trail because it has shed its skin in a fairly profuse fashion, especially given how panicked it is. It's flapping its wings furiously and with it sloughing off massive clouds of dead skin. So you follow it all the way to one of the dressing rooms, and the door is closed. Clearly it felt it could conceal its presence, but that you have not met the door yet, Rebecca, that you haven't been able to just boot open.
Yeah, so I guess,
In there.
is the door locked? Do I check the door? Is it locked?
It is not locked.
It's not locked. I want to creep in. I want to try to do this as
Ooh.
subtle and stealthily as possible to try to catch the imp off guard.
Nice.
Okay, let's see. Let's go for I don't know if this is your forte, so to speak. So let's see. You will need to roll for me, please, Nyla. A larceny. You've got nothing in that, so good luck.
Is there any kind of... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and dexterity. So right now 3 dice. And Laura, what were you going to ask?
I was going to ask, and the larceny is a great segue. Is there some kind of like assisting mechanic?
Yeah, you can.
Great
You
question.
can use teamwork in this system. Teamwork is often based around the strength of the bond you have with each other.
Okay.
Do you have a bond with the character?
I have a bond of 1.
You have a bond of 1. Okay. So what that will do is actually apply an enhancement. So if Nyla rolls even 1 hit, there will be an additional automatic 1 applied on top.
okay.
Enhancements get applied after hits. If you roll no hits, the enhancements don't work either. It's basically what makes weapons more deadly and so on.
Gotcha.
The deadliness of a weapon only comes into effect if you actually hit someone with it.
That's
Cool.
actually a really generous mechanic. Okay.
Yeah. Is one of my dice the curse dice?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. One of them's always going to be the curse dice, yeah?
As long as you've got them. If you don't have any curse die, because you can bleed them with some of your powers, that means
true.
they go away, then you will succumb to your damnation, which in your case means revealing your demonic form, your
Got it.
outsider form to everyone.
Okay, and we are looking for, what, 7 and 8, you said?
8s, 9s, and 10s.
And
All right, I
10's
got
counted
1 8.
Okay, well, with the additional hits
Yeah.
from Iris maybe saying, whoa, hold back.
Mm-hmm.
You narrowly avoid alerting the imp to your presence. This is not an intelligent creature. It is trying to hide in the garbage can
Damn
in the corner of this dressing room, and the lid on it is pulled slightly open, and you can see eyes poking out from it, and then squeak. It doesn't think it's been seen, but it has. You know it's in there.
Well, now my plan has changed because I was going to use the trash can.
Still can. You could just throw it into a wall.
No, I want to capture it. I want to capture the imp. Is there any sort of cloth around, like a jacket or?
Yes. absolutely. It's a dressing room. There's probably this is Johnny's dressing room, so you could ruin his jacket with imp skin.
Yeah, so I want to grab his jacket and I want to throw it over the lid of the trash can so that even if the imp were to get out, it goes right into the jacket and I have it in like a sack.
Okay. All right, so you throw the jacket over. You don't need to roll for that. That's simply done. But holding it in place is what we're going to look for here.
Oh, okay.
So I would like for you to roll close combat and might, please, Nyla. Now, if you want, you could bleed your curse die and apply some brutality to this. So essentially, you are using the heavy weapon tag. Your body at that point essentially becomes a block of brick. But remember, if you bleed your curse die here, you will go full demonic.
Right.
You will not hide your outsider status. You probably don't need to with Iris, but it's your choice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna save on bleeding the die. I don't want to reveal anything yet because there are civilians.
It's true.
I don't know where this is gonna go. I think I can handle an imp. My close combat's 3. My might is 5. So
you got this.
Am I rolling 8? Is that
8,
what that is?
That's correct, and one of them is a curse die.
All right. And none of them are hits.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I have a 9. I have 1 9.
Oh, okay. That is 1 hit. So the imp is going to be wrestling against you. I'm going to be rolling as well. Now, an imp is nowhere near as strong, but I only need to get 2 hits here. So let's see how I do. I do manage it. I actually get 3 hits. So you hold it, and it tears open Johnny's jacket. It obviously rips the lid of the trash can in and just through the jacket. That was a brand new jacket. And the imp climbs up through and just clawing at your face, at your neck. Away! Let me get out! Away!
So it's on my face. Can I just grab it and just bite it?
Yep, that's all I wanted to stop.
I want to bite it into submission.
New scenario title. It's been renamed again. Bitten into submission.
With Nyla Rose. There's an autobiography name. Let's go for close combat and might again, please. You are effectively also initiating a grapple here if you can get more than 2 hits. You basically bite onto it and don't let go.
Awesome. Let's see. We got 7, 8. So 3?
So 8s and above are your hits.
Oh, 8s and above. So then just 2.
2 hits. Okay, then. So, in that case, what we're looking at here, I will cover for the group now that we are hitting the halfway mark. You do have momentum. Momentum is equal to the number of people in the group. So that, in this case, is 4.
Okay. Anytime
you fail a roll, in fact, 5, because you failed a roll, you gain momentum. Now, momentum is a way of essentially you can use it to do things like buying successes or buying enhancements or turning failures into successes. In this case, if you want to grapple this imp with your teeth, if you don't want to just bite it and let it go, you could spend one of those momentum from the communal pool, and then your teeth have sunk in around its spine, and it's not going to be flying anywhere.
Yeah, I feel this is important. Let's do that.
Okay, then. So, to your horror, Iris, you see as Rebecca... somehow Rebecca's jaw widens sufficiently.
Sure.
Maybe it is because of Rebecca's outsider nature, and clamps down on the spine of this imp as its head protrudes from the trash can, and there is a crunch. You know on some level that Rebecca has actually bitten into the spinal column of this creature with enough ferocity that her teeth are hooked in now. And now she is dragging it out of the trash can with her teeth.
Thank you?
Meanwhile, on stage, while this madness is taking place backstage, I mean, Bridget, you're watching this. The review of this, it's going to have to be mixed. Frankly, Johnny King is not everything he was written up to be, and he played Uncle Vanya once.
Yeah, that's confusing. And I'll say one thing about Z. I'm not a sitting spectator.
Mm-hmm.
The family sent me here to observe, and I just got a pretty integral clue that the producer, the director, was sent an anonymous package, which means whomever sent that package is likely in the audience or has agents in the audience. So this is going to be one of those walking observations where I'm floating around the circumference of the auditorium. Despite the fact that I haven't met Brandon or I didn't see that interaction, it is very curious to see that he is circled off as an 18-year-old kid with 3 seats. So if I may, Matthew, 2 things I want to do. If I can pull one of my contacts that work at this theater, because of course she has somebody on the ground with her, I would want the name of the individual that is sitting in that center seat and who bought all 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 of those seats. And then I want to do a sweep of the audience just to see if anybody is triggering anything in my network, my portfolio of interested parties.
Yes. See if you've got someone mouthing a curse or something like that.
Correct. Or someone that is engaged at a more than, enjoyment level. Basically, I just want to do a full recon of the audience, but I definitely want the name and who paid for the tickets for little buddy that is engrossed in, you can't be in my proximity.
All right. Can I ask you to make a persuasion and presence roll? I think would be fair.
Absolutely,
you
guys.
gain an enhancement. If you've got theatre contacts on your sheet, there should be a rating next to it. If not, I think we can easily swap one of your contacts over because I came up with them.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
Let's see. You have... Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a rating of 2 here. So that's an enhancement of 2 to this.
Okay, enhancement of 2. And you told me it was...
I think persuasion and presence. To say,
presence.
hey, who bought the block of seats back there?
I love that. And then my curse die as well. Question for the Mystery Seeker Torment. Do I get to add a curse die for acting on this?
Yes,
Okay.
You are pulling the thread.
Okay, beautiful. So the curse die was 1 success.
This is your personal torment. Every character gets a torment that is connected to their either lineage or family, and one that is tied to their character. And yes, you are a mystery seeker.
Okay, so I hit an 8 on my curse die, and with a 10 in the other pool, it's a total of 5 other successes.
Wow. Okay, 5 hits, and then you've got the 2 enhancements on top of that. Is that right?
I might have misdone that. I rolled an additional 2 dice. You want me to just re-roll my pool?
Oh, yes. Well, in that case, you got 3 hits, and
There
you've got 2 additional ones on
Yep.
top. Did your curse die come up as a hit?
It did, yeah. I got an 8 on my curse die.
Okay, then. So you are speaking to the floor manager, who you've spoken to before about various plays that have been staged here. And oh yes, Countessa, whenever she performs here, always draws the crowds. Always, I mean, at the expense of the rest of the production. But the good news is she always gets about a bit bored after the first week. The run she never outlasts the run, shall we say. It's always a wonderful opportunity for an understudy. But those seats you were talking about.
Yeah, those right there. What is that? Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Rose. And then I'm going to actually articulate the seat numbers down.
Yes. Well, that young man up there is Brandon Bevilacqua. He shows up to all of the Countess's performances. Whenever she passes through Junction City, he's always there. And, his family, the Bevilacqua family, they have money. They are patrons of this theatre. They kept the roof intact for quite a while, I can tell you that.
Interesting. Brandon Bevilacqua. Do I know that name by any chance, Dawkins? Does that Bevilacqua name in Junction City mean anything to me, above or below?
You know what? I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I will say yes, because you got wicked success there. The Bevilacqua family are quite literally a family of accursed. They are a family of sorcerers that are part of the Premier family. The Bevilacquas are just one of their many branches. They have a lot of money, a lot of influence. Sorcerers, well, different, of course, different accursed see sorcerers in different regards. Some people claim sorcerers willingly enter into curses for power, where most of you just didn't have the choice. But of course, they are also good friends to have because they tend to have a lot of power. This kid is not accursed because you would be able to sense that from him. But his family, at least someone in his family, is. So, yeah, he does have a connection to your underworld, if you like, your conspiracy lifestyle. But whether he knows of it or not, it would be a damn coincidence if he didn't.
If he didn't, yeah. Michael, as always, that was super helpful. And then I'm going to reach into a pocket. I'll hand him his $1,000 payment for constantly having my back in situations like this. Hey, you pay your network.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
You work your network, they'll work for you.
Exactly. I'd say so. And so we are building up to that moment at the start of our game and our first bio break with that. With Johnny, who is in a state of drainedness, shall we say. He is looking a bit vacant. He's on autopilot now. This isn't a scene where the Countess is on stage, but this is building up to the moment where he arrives back at her home. He's escaped the law, and frankly, he sleepwalked through those scenes. It's almost like he had his soul drained. And yet, maybe because he's on autopilot, he knows just what to do. And he rides onto stage on his motorcycle. It's a prop, but it's a pretty decent prop. Yeah, dring, dring.
Planting the flowers.
Yes.
The engine revving between my legs burns with hate for you, delivering infernal fire for what you try to do. Sophie, oh Sophie, you cut me to the core. When I rock up outside your place, it's time to set the score. He slows down, and so the electric guitars, of course, slow down as well. She called 5-0 on me.
Oh my God!
It's time to make her pay. In all my years of killing folks from her, I did not expect betrayal. Sophie, oh Sophie, I'll bury you so deep. And Sophie, oh Sophie, it won't be quick, it won't be sweet. And then we get the build-up of the guitars again, of course. And when I'm done with you, nobody's gonna know. One day from now, you'll be fired, and your boss will say, she just didn't show. But I'll remember everything, all the things you didn't said. For your wicked treachery, I'll sing the bitch is dead. There's a bit of celebration from the audience now. This is what they're here for. Countess has taken the spotlight or not. This is a fairly easy thing to sing along to. She's dead. She's fucking dead. Dead and dead. Stone cold dead. The bitch is dead. Dead, dead, dead. Sophie's dead. Dead, 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 dead. It doesn't quite flow, but it certainly gets the crowd moving. Motorcycle revs, and he arrives at your house. Now we're at the crucial scene.
Planting flowers with this new prop. It's for daisies, not pansies. Just,
Oh, God.
He climbs off the motorcycle, shotgun in hand. And he realizes you're outside. You're supposed to be inside the house, but he has lost any skill at improvisation. That's what happens when you lose your soul. You lose the ability to improvise.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's Sophie, open up right now. He looks at you outside.
It's just me on the other side of the house on screen, like...
Yeah. I'm right outside the door. I'm just here to talk with you, freshly released by Johnny Law.
Oh, God.
And then it's me, like, he's, like, in front of the door. I'm in the backyard playing the flowers.
He looks like a putz because he is threatening you through a door and you are not on the other side of it.
and then here's my moment.
Yeah.
Johnny, who let you out of jail?
My
What are
character's
you doing
name is...
here, Johnny?
Character's name.
Johnny!
Victor!
And I get up. And I like tap him on the shoulder. Johnny! What are you doing here? Who let you out of jail, Johnny?
Johnny Law! I'm here to kill you! Sophie!
No. You will not kill me, Johnny. I just couldn't live with myself after calling the 5-0 on you, Johnny.
The 5-0.
I was quite lonely, Johnny. And this is where I will start improving. I am totally ruining the back end of this play.
Oh, yeah. This is where you're supposed to kill him.
We were supposed to be together forever, Johnny.
Yeah, but
you rather
betrayed me to the cops.
Hell. Johnny, you're stepping on my lines. Stop.
Your lines. Yeah, sorry.
My lines of love for you, Johnny.
Yeah, good cleanup. Great cleanup. That worked.
And then I'll reach over and grab his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll grab his face in my hand. And I'll reach down and grab the gun really quick. Johnny, I always loved you, but you loved killing more than you loved me. And now, Johnny L., you must. I look to the crowd. Go to hell. And I pop the shotgun off at him.
Well, it's a rather unsatisfying click. But that doesn't mean, unfortunately, the Foley here, the band are so struck dumb by what's going on, no one hits the drum at the right moment. But that doesn't matter, because the audience, especially your family, the Verari in attendance, you've got uncles, nephews, nieces. Oh, Countessa, yes! And this is when it happens, of course. We don't need to repeat everything that occurred with Johnny before. That's already been told in loving detail. But he is supposed to just fall at this point. His death is more drawn out, as we already know, and more real. First, Countessa, you don't know what Johnny's doing. I mean, that's not new. Then the eyeball pops, the fluids flow, the brain exits in gobbets, and his skull cracks, and finally the crabs leave his skull. The fear that washes over the audience, even all the way backstage, Iris, is intoxicating for you. Rebecca, you've got your mouth around an imp's neck right now.
Yeah, sure am.
And you can see Iris in, let's call it, the throes of ecstasy.
Oh, yes.
You don't know what exactly is going on. You may have even heard the collective gasp from the audience, but you don't know exactly what's going on. But Iris certainly does. It's as if, Iris, you are alive for the first time in decades, over a century, and not just occupying someone else's body. You can barely hold on to the countertop. You just want to collapse to the ground and enjoy this feeling. And then the strangest thing happens. As Countessa, yes, you're a spotlight hog, to put it mildly. Yes, you are the diva, but you're still, let's call it, shocked and appalled at Johnny's conduct. And Z, you are aware of this as well, and this is appalling. But the audience burst into rapturous applause. Yes, the effect was delayed. His head should have exploded when you pulled the trigger, but opening night teething problems, right? What an effect! What a show! The fear becomes joy. And before, Iris, you can reach any kind of satisfaction, you slump back against the counter. Your peak has been denied. Yep.
Did we really just do orgasm denial in this game? I am excited.
Well,
I love that that's where we are currently.
I feel like as the only guy in the group, it is my role to not deliver. So
Yes,
well, yes.